prayer and get on into our business, okay? Our Heavenly Father, we're thankful, Lord, for this day of life that you've blessed us with. We're thankful for your love, your mercy, and grace. Thankful, Lord, for the way that you take care of us, supply our needs, guide, direct our lives, and help us, Lord, from day to day. Without your help, we'd have no hope. And we just thank you for that. We pray that you bless each one that's here. Help us, Lord, as we conduct business for our county, that we might help our people and make improvements and do things that would be good for our people. We ask in Jesus' name. Oh, flag turned on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the Kentucky flag, to the sovereign state for which it stands, one commonwealth, blessed with diversity, natural wealth, beauty, and grace from on high. Clerk will now call the roll.
Judge Watson,
Here.
Magistrate Abney,
Here.
Magistrate Tipton,
Here.
Magistrate Flannery,
Here.
Jason Riley, Sheriff Flynn, Frida Waycaster.
Did they know about the meeting?
Send them an email.
You did, okay. They always get it. They might have thought, might not even looked at it. Anyway, okay. Next item, Kim is always right on top of everything, I'm telling you. She is super, isn't she? Really?
Yes.
Super? Anyway,
Good thing you didn't say no.
okay. Our next item is, minutes. We have a motion to approve the minutes. Second. Any discussion, any questions?
Judge Watson,
Yes.
Magistrate Abney,
Yes.
Magistrate Tipton,
Yes.
Magistrate Flannery.
Yes.
Our next item is welcome our visitors. We're glad to have David and his entourage from Kentucky River Foothills. And they do a super job. They help us all the time, and we appreciate them. And we've got Laura, is it Mattingly? From Louisville with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. She might be a general, I don't know. But anyway, we're glad to have her and have each one of you. And we always have a good time at our meeting. We come in here relaxed and we don't argue, fuss and fight. We just do our business and get up and go home. But anyway, good to have you all. And our next item is Laura Maddie. We've got you on the agenda, Laura.
Do you all have, I've got a little presentation. It's just a few slides. I don't know if y'all, I have extras if anybody would like
We
one.
do. Do you all have a copy?
I've got, I don't have a ton, but anybody good?
You just got one copy.
Feasibility study, is it?
And so today I was just gonna introduce you all to the feasibility study here in Eastern Kentucky. And it's a flood risk reduction study that's gonna last about 3 years with a $3 million budget. And we're gonna look at the 10 counties here in Eastern Kentucky. Just wanna introduce the study and then kind of talk about some things that are coming up, some information we're gonna ask of you all, and some participation perhaps in some workshops that we're planning here in the next couple months. So the first slide there just has a visual of our project area, the 10 counties. Our partners on this right now, we are working directly with Perry County. They stepped up and signed our cost share agreement for that $3 million. It's 50-50. However, their part of the cost share, $1.5 million, came from the Department for Local Government down through some HUD grants. So, but they have actually signed that cost share agreement, so we've been working with them to help kind of figure out how we're going to tackle the problems and what these meetings are going to look like whenever we meet with each county. We're also working with the Kentucky Division of Water. We're in close connection with them. For anybody that doesn't know what the Corps of Engineers does, I'm in the Civil Works area, so we work with non-federal agencies, whether that's state or local agencies, nonprofits, and we work to solve water resource problems. And then it's got our district's area there on that map. So we've got most of Kentucky, about half of Indiana, and then parts of Illinois and Ohio. So we do lots of different projects. That top middle picture there is Beattyville and the flood that they had in 21. So we currently have a flood reduction study going on there now. So this study is going to be similar to that, but just a much larger, more comprehensive scale. But that study is going to be wrapping up this year. We also do things like ecosystem restoration. There's a picture of the conceptual ecosystem plan there on the bottom. And this study can incorporate things like, we call them nature-based solutions. So things that are kind of like ecosystem restoration, planting trees or creating what's called green sinks, which is more like wetlands, the things that can hold water back and store water, but is more natural, works more with the environment. And then we also do things like stream bank stabilization. There's a picture there. So yeah, we partner with non-federal agencies and work on problems throughout our project area. So overview of this study. So this was authorized in the Water Resources Development Act of 22, and that was in response to the flooding that occurred here in the other counties in 22, as well as 21, and historically throughout this area. And I've got a visual there. I don't have to tell you all. This part of Kentucky is disproportionately impacted by flooding. So that there shows the number of federally declared flood disasters since 1967. You all are in the, I think it's the 15 to 20 range, so far more than other parts of the country, or of the state. So that authorization was, the money was earmarked by Hal Rogers' office, so there was some help there, and they're very supportive of the project, and we've been talking to them as well. So that's good as far as future funding and everything. That's going to be really helpful. So this study, we also are going to use, because of the flooding issues that have occurred here, we have lots of previous studies that have already been done, some with the Corps of Engineers, other agencies. So we're going to use those studies, use data that's been collected, and build on that. There was a floodplain management services project done here, I believe, but not, I wasn't a part of it, but by the Corps of Engineers. So we can use things like that, they've already done flood modeling, they've already looked at some solutions. So we want to use that information and, like I said, apply it to the larger scale of the whole 10-county area. So when I talk about solutions, we're talking about some type of a foundational strategy to reduce that flood risk, and that can be things from the big solutions. You think about dams and basins, levees, flood walls, channel modification, where you're maybe taking a channel that's got a constrained point and you're widening it or straightening it. So we can look at things like that, but then we can also look at what we call, it's kind of a confusing name, but we call them non-structural solutions, which means that you're not changing where the water's going, there's interest buyouts. So we're going to be looking at the whole gambit of. So that next slide, number 4, there's a lot of information on that. It's just to give you an idea of what is the problem solving and coming up with different concepts and solutions. That all kind of happens within the first year or so. We are currently still in our scoping phase, where we're trying to figure out, what really are the problems here. So, where are roads getting blocked and keep just completely eliminating access to houses, or where is water backing up at a bridge or something like that. So those are things that we're going to ask you all about at the workshop that I mentioned. So this is engaging with you all to get all that initial information, but then we also want to do some public engagement. So we're anticipating we'll be ready maybe in about 2 months, end of February, beginning of March, to do some type of a public outreach event, whether that's virtual or maybe some type of a series of open houses where we can show people what the study is and let people come in and talk to us and give us their input. So we want to do that as well. I did want to mention as well, so the durations here, this is a typical feasibility study. This one is much larger than a typical feasibility study, so we are looking at possibly more than 3 years. we'll work as quickly as we can, but we also want to be thorough and come up with the best possible solution. So likely it will be over 3 years for this study. We also get questions a lot about implementation, what it looks like once the study's over and everything's authorized. We have a plan in place. So after that, it's authorized, we get funding, we can go and sign what's called a project partnership agreement with a non-federal sponsor, and that would cost share the study, or not the study, sorry, the actual design and implementation of the project, 65 federal, 35% non-federal. That non-federal entity can be, it could be you all, it could be you all in Perry County, it could be all 10 counties, it could look a lot of different ways. It could be where one county signs and then there's a third-party agreement with the other counties. It's pretty flexible, so when we get to that point, we'll figure the details out of what that's going to look like. But it is important because whoever signs that project partnership agreement will be responsible for real estate for the project and operations and maintenance of the project. So it's a big ask. And I did want to mention that 35%, there are processes that we have that can decrease that cost share for the non-federal sponsor, or we might also end up in another situation where we've got funds coming from another place, like through the DLG. So that's a possibility. So on the last page there, I have a QR code that has, it takes you to our public comment map. So I believe you all have already received our poster with that on there. Right. Okay, good. Levi has been sending all that out for me. So we ask that you all take that as like that and get, I assume we can contact the same email to maybe start scheduling that and setting that up. It'll be a couple hours virtual. So hopefully, you all could attend, or if you have other people that have a lot of information that would be helpful, they could be invited to the meeting. So, we just appreciate your participation and look forward to working with you all. So,
Question.
yes.
They got a study, are you familiar with that, or does that tie into this? They come in, they want this report driven. I made some contacts for Eddie Wood, you know Eddie?
I do not. Okay.
He grew up,
Mm-hmm.
and he and another fellow named Ryan, we put out the buses, and I made some contacts with him. Report driven.
Yeah, before we had record of it. Okay, I know I wasn't aware of that study, but that is part of.
But well, they didn't get several million, I think they got maybe 3 or 400,000.
Okay.
But it's UK. And I've got Eddie's number and family connection.
Absolutely. That's the kind of stuff we're looking at that can use it for a study. And also, we don't want to repeat things that are already going on. So that's really important. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good. Be careful on that road.
I will.
Now, are you going this way? You going to Mountain Parkway, or you going to
Mountain Parkway, yes.
Be careful on that road. There's a lot of.
Either one.
It's the rest of the end.
Yeah, Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Okay. Our next item is David Easton. David.
Step up here if it's all right with you all.
You come right up here. Yeah, you
Move
come right up
around a
here.
little bit. So, I'm David Eastep. I'm the executive director of Kentucky River Foothills. I brought with me Brandon Campbell. He's one of our deputy directors. Cynthia Romine runs our opioid abatement program. And then Jimmy Stone runs our housing office here in Huston County. So, wanted the community to be familiar with Foothills. Hopefully you are. We've been around for a long time. We're a community action agency for Estill, Powell, Clark, and Madison counties. We were formed over 60 years ago. We were the first community action agency actually in the state of Kentucky. So we are here for the sole purpose of helping those in need in the communities that we serve. So we have a housing office here. Like I said, we run a lot of different services. We have transportation services from the Foothills Express buses around from place to place. We do a lot of work within this area. So I'll give you all just a brochure. It kind of shows all the different programs, the different things that we do, and quite a bit. So we probably and that is an abstinence model based facility that helps women come in out of with addiction, both alcohol and drugs, and helps them get the help that they need. We also have a program for veterans that runs in over 20 counties, and that's called Supportive Services for Veterans and their Families. And we help them with housing, we help them with the needs that they have, obstacles that they are facing, trying to get their lives basically back on track. So with that combination of programs and the experience that we've drawn from running those for several years, we developed a program called Supportive Services for Recovery Enhancement. And that is specifically designed for the opioid crisis that we're all experiencing in all these communities that we have. So we designed it after the Veterans Program, where we do intensive case management with these folks. We help people who are coming out of incarceration that's been impacted by drugs, or out of recovery that's impacted by drugs. We take them from that step to where they get out of jail, or they get out of this recovery center. Where do they go? They don't have anything. A lot of their family ties are broken. Nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep, no food to eat, nothing. Their life has been in shambles for quite a while, so they're just trying their best to figure out how do they recover from this. So their instinct is, and we've learned this from operating the recovery center, the instinct is go back home. When you're going back home, most of the time to the place where you got the first addiction. So it's not necessarily the best place to go. So we realize that and understand that they need more accountability, they need more assistance to rebuild their lives. So Cynthia's and Brandon's gonna go over some of the specifics of the program, but this program, we wrote a grant for and received funding through the Kentucky Opioid Abatement Commission in 2024. And we received $500,000, and we ran that program all of 2024. So we've got some data from the results that we saw in 2024. And the judge sits on our board by mandate of the state. All county judges that are in our area serve on our board. So he and Teresa both heard this, but it's really good data. It's real data. It's things that we've experienced in the 12 months that we ran this program. So I'll turn it over to Cynthia and Brandon. They'll just kind of go over a few things. I think she has a handout to give to you. They already have it. And then I'll come back up just in a second.
We look for people who are working class or below. That way we can truly help those who are in need. We had 191 applicants from February to about December. Out of those 191 applicants, we were able to enroll 43 clients, and then out of those 190, 10 of them were from Estill County, and 2 of them were originally from Estill County, but then moved to Madison County for recovery resources. So in Estill County alone that are willing to work with us. And then we assist our participants in obtaining a doctor. When you're in active recovery, you don't think about your medical needs. So we want to make sure that they're identifying their medical needs. And then we get them connected to recovery and support services such as Connect for SNAP, Medicaid, childcare. If they want to go back to school and they're single parents, we get them connected with our Kit Carson and Scholar Houses. If they are falling behind on their electric or gas bills, we get them connected with our LIFE program. And then we look at those true recovery services too, like IOP services, meeting with a therapist to get to the root cause of what started the addiction. Because it's never somebody just woke up one day and was like, you know what, I want to start, some sort of illicit drug. Something happened to get to that point. So we want to make sure they're taking care of their mental health as well. And then once we get through those first two steps, we want to assist them in obtaining either employment that can pay the bills or getting them into college, trade school, something to kind of help further their education. So 1 month phone call. We are in the client's home at least every other week, and then they have to have weekly phone calls with our case managers. If they have something going on in their life, they know they can call the case manager more often, but we require, 1 week phone call, next week in-home visit. If our clients need help with their resumes, then we help them build a resume. If they just need help getting connected to a second chance employer, we have identified 70 plus different second chance employers between the four counties. When they come into the program, our case managers are really looking at housing needs assessments, and we want to make sure that they're in safe, stable housing. So we're not going to just put them in a shack or even a studio. We want something that they can feel proud of and that they're going to continue to work not only at the job but towards a recovery to maintain that housing. We make sure that our clients understand what it means to be a good tenant and that they understand their rights as a tenant. We look at barrier supports, and that's, how can they overcome some of the challenges they're facing? Is it that they have a felony on their record from 15 years ago that's preventing them from getting a job that's going to support them and their family? Then we can connect them to places that's going to help them with an expungement. We really try to help. I never realized how hard our recovering clients are on themselves. No one could ever be meaner to them than they are to themselves. So I'll let Brandon talk more about the community-wide impact.
So I wrote the grant for this program originally, and like David said, we kind of started basing that one off of our supported services for veterans and families program. And I got to spend some time in that program early on when I started working at Foothills. And one of the things that I noticed in that originally that really impacted client success negatively is that program is a first come, first served program. So if somebody has a need, as long as the program is not filled up, they show up and they have all the eligibility paperwork, everything that they need, they can get into the program, and then a case management plan similar to kind of what Cynthia described. Get started, and they get the person housed, start working with them to get in the VA and all of that. But what I noticed was that we had no ability to screen individuals for motivation. So, especially when it comes to dealing with sobriety and you have limited resources, we wanted to really select the clients who would utilize those dollars the best. And just for me, since we are founded out of the war on poverty, that meant that these individuals would achieve self-sustainability. They would be able to get a job, and hopefully by the end of the program, we'll be able to pay their bills. And so out of our 43 clients that we had just in this 1 year, we had an average income increase in their households about $13,000, for all of those clients. If you look at that kind of on a community-wide level, for us, a lot of people commute. I think the average commute in Kentucky is like 25 to 30 minutes. So not everybody always works in the same county that they live in. Those dollars tend to kind of migrate around a little bit, but for our counties that we're in, that was $560,000 new dollars that people earned, paid taxes on, brought into their communities, paid rent, paid for other services and different things. The average age of the client was about 40 and a half years old. So that means they're going to have, if they work until their earliest Social Security date, a little bit over 22 years to work, which would be a potential final value and exit the workforce and stuff happens, or make more money, or they'll work less hours because over those 20-something years, just in those clients. So it actually makes a pretty sizable impact for the community in general. It's not as relevant to you all, but for the state dollars based on the state income tax if they didn't lower it. It was gonna be a payback period, I think, of 7 at a million different places throughout town. Those dollars kind of get circulated around. We end up meaning a little bit more than what they do. So kind of looking at sustainability plans, but also on how we can track these clients after they exit the program to see how robust their recovery is and how well they're able to maintain that. Now turn it back over to Dave.
So kind of in a nutshell, what we do is whatever their needs are, whatever they try to address those. And we're able to address a lot of those just through the wraparound services that Foothills has. We have transportation program, we have veterans program, people who want to be reconnected with their families. We have a program that assists with ECVS to get that done. We have a healthcare facility in Clay City. We have things that we already offer. We can use those to wrap around these participants and help them truly recover. So if you think about the impact one person has that has been able to stay clean and not be a drain on the county or city and the resources that they require, jail time, 911 calls, Narcan, whatever else it is, be able to take them from being a drain or a draw from the community and let them to be able to be contributing members of that community, paying their bills, giving back in some way, that it's a great thing. So you think about one person and how they are able to improve their state that they're in. I mean, you can multiply that by 10. Family members, friends, people that they're in contact with, all of a sudden they're not someone who is addicted, who's looking for a way to get high in the next day or two. They're trying to figure out how can they give back to their family, the people who they've probably been the worst to over the years. So this impact can be multiplied by 10 pretty easily. So again, we got $500,000, and that was, we based our program to ramp it up, to start it. 43 people were the most that we could fit through that program. That's why we had to stop those dollars, or those participants at 43. We could have served over 200. We just stopped taking phone calls for a while because we just couldn't, we didn't have any place to put them. So the way the abatement worked from the Attorney General was that they funded us through December. They've opened up an application portal now, and they'll start funding again in July. So there was a gap of 6 months. And that gap was, well, what do you do with a program that you spend all this time and effort? They said, you know what, I asked for money to keep this program running and to use that money to go out into the communities and ask them to contribute to this program. And Foothills was willing to match up to $100,000. We're willing to match. So we were in Powell County last week. We're here this week. We're going to be in Madison County. We're going to be in Clark County. We're going to be in Berea. The communities that we serve, we're going to say, hey, this is such a tremendous impact on your community. We're asking you, County, that will run through this program with 15 to 20 people that will be able to change their lives. And they will no longer be addicted and be looking for ways to get high again. So a lot of it is involved with giving them temporary financial assistance through housing, through food, through, you think about it, they don't have utensils, they don't have clothes, they don't have a bed to sleep in, they don't have anything. So we give them all those tools to be able to be successful. So, and that 15 to 20 is an average of what we're seeing is that what we can do with $100,000. So this program is an approved expenditure, and I know that's a big issue for some of the areas that we've been to, is like what is allowed to spend this money on. There's a fear of, well, I don't want to spend it on the wrong thing. We're an approved program already with the Attorney General's office. We've already been sifted through as this is a certified program that meets the qualifications to spend that money on. So we're asking the same for each place we go. We're asking for this money to help us expand into this area. And we were asked last week about We don't grant the best that we can. The difference is how much of an impact we can make in this community. So what we can do with the dollars that we have allocated alone is small in comparison to what we can do with your all's help. So you think about 15, 20 people here, 15, 20 people there, and you do that 4 or 5 different places, and all of a sudden you've got hundreds of people who've been impacted by what we're able to do. So it's kind of a one-of-a-kind program to where we're doing something that nobody else has really done. We're trying to take them from a place of where they are and just say, we're here, we're going to help you through it. It's not a lot to ask.
Okay, questions? Gary? How about you, Paul?
Do y'all, help the ones that's on drugs right now, or just when they're clean?
They have to be in recovery.
So y'all provide recovery, or is that another?
Well, we've got a recovery center that for women over there that we don't, this program doesn't help you find that recovery. It's people who are in recovery.
Now, is this just for men or something else?
No, what we're doing is for men or women. I'm just saying the recovery center that we have in Richmond is a women's recovery step, and they know they're subject to random drug tests. So there's requirements to stay in this program. They gotta stay clean. They gotta do their part. That's why we do the motivation screening. We want people who take this seriously. We don't wanna waste anybody's time or money. So we want people who are really, really ready to change their lives. That's why we do what we do on the screening process. But they do have, the first step is they have to be in recovery. So we'd be glad to answer any more questions that you have. Again, this is one of them. So, and we're a very reputable organization. We've been here, we're gonna be here. Long after we're all gone, Fiscal's still gonna be chugging right along. So that's the nature of who we are. So, and with that, with any money that we get is a responsibility to report. Report as you all desire, how's this money being used, what's being done with it, how far have you gone with this, how many people you had enrolled. So how we operate, we're not fearful of any type of accountability. We're an open book, so we don't care to share anything we've got with you.
You all want to make a decision, or you want to wait till the next meeting?
Have the housing, and that's why we really had to work to identify a lot of landlords who are willing to work with not just us giving them funding, but this population of clients. So when they reach out to me, either come stop by my office, email, phone, or they send, a case manager from like New Vista will refer them to me. I screen them for that motivation and help identify, are they older and can't use stairs, or do they have young children who like to run out, what type of things do they really need in a house? And then we help them identify landlords who are willing to work with them, but we want to empower them to be independent and reach out to those landlords, look at the places they're applying for, because I'm not living there, the case managers aren't living there, these clients are. So we want to make sure they're happy with it. And then when it comes to employment, we, help them get interview ready, whether that's doing a resume, just doing some mock type of interviews, and then, teaching them how to apply, identify other job opportunities for them as well.
We basically just try to help remove the barriers, keep them motivated, keep them accountable, try to help them achieve the goals that they need in their lives to be successful. And every case is totally different. It requires a different set of skills for each client that we have. And some clients are there 3 months and they're gone. Some clients are there 7, 8 months. It's just, everyone's different. And we try to wean them off as they go as far as what we provide for them. Because it's just, these people just need a little bit of help to get over the Estill County residents that receive these funds.
So much of that area, a block of that would be kind of reserved for Estill, is that what you're saying?
we would spend those dollars on Estill County participants in this program. We would make sure that they went for that purpose.
Plus the match,
Excuse me?
right, plus the match money too?
The match money would be $100,000 into the program.
Just the whole program?
Right. So you'll end up having 3 cast managers working all 4 counties. So we're willing to put that $100,000 into the program of our money, if you're willing to put $100,000 in per year. So we made the same offer to Powell County, and that's what it was.
Just how much? Like this one says
40,
the average.
That they can reach out to as well.
So you follow them for 1%, once they're in your program. What about after that? You don't follow them?
Yeah, we just do a 30-day follow-up. The program outreach out. Gives me a specialist job at this place, or hey, I just wanted to let you know I just bought my first car. So we get a lot of the exciting updates, but
So what's the success rate so far? Do you know, or have you not been able to know?
Well, for all the participants, that's what's been so impressive, is that we think a lot of it is due to the motivation, is finding people who are really serious about doing this. Again, because we're taking our time and our money, we want people who are going to really impact their lives and the people around them. So again, we operated this for a year, and it stopped at the end of December. There for a while, we didn't know exactly where the funding was going to come from or how much we was going to have. So we had people that were phasing out, so our numbers started going down. Now we've started a new cycle of bringing more people in. And I will say, from the 43 that we had initially, the case managers have identified a handful each of people that they know they need to check on further down the road, because they were the ones that were a little bit weaker. They just expressed some concerns to our case managers, so our case managers know, here's my phone number. If you're ever in a pinch, you're in a situation where you feel like you're getting ready to fall and do something crazy, give me a call. So that, and Brandon said this, and we forgot to mention this. Brandon talked about how greater example of what to say, look child, look what I went through. This is what it did to my life. This is what I had to go through to get to the other side. That doesn't make you not want to do drugs. Other than that, you've got a pot of money to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck. You want that money to go to impact something, because you don't know how much you're going to get, you don't know how long you're going to get it, how long it's going to take to get it. We understand that. So, we got a $100,000 commitment for you for a year. We're fine with getting it in quarterly payments. That's fine. We don't have to have it all at once in dollars. It doesn't hit your general fund at all. It's just those dollars. And but also, I believed enough in it that I stuck my neck out on the line in my job, in my capacity with my board, to say, don't let this die, because it's been so impactful. It exceeded our expectations.
the courts, she does Powell and Estill County. And then even Mr. Stone will give me referrals from people who come to the outreach office. A lot of it is more popular than our light door for people to get a.
Like statistics that go with it, with the success of the program, like the resources that we have that everybody uses, like this place might do better, or this place might do better, and I know each individual is different, so, but, you see what I'm saying, out of these 43, is there anything common between these clients, except the program?
With the motivation screener. So
Yeah.
you want to talk
Can
about the
we see
motivation
one of
screener a
those?
little bit?
Like, can
So
we-
the motivational screen, I don't have one on me. I look at things such as,
You individually, look
Yep.
at it. It's just you.
yep, it's just me.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you guys could visit my office, it wouldn't be
No, I'm
exciting.
just saying.
But, so when I'm on the phone with them, one of the times they say, oh, well, my husband's gonna leave me. Well, that's not you, as, you know, how many addictions do you have? Do you have a support network? Because it's hard to do anything in life without a support network. It truly takes a village. Even when you're a grown adult, you still need that village to help take care of you. I look at things such as, are they currently active in the court system? Which is not always a bad thing, because we've had people who are in drug court and the diversion program. We had 3 people in drug court. Let me tell you, that is impressive. It is 3 years of intensive requirements, and they're doing 3 to 4 drug screenings a week through that as well. I look at things such as committed arson, murder, work with, especially since we're trying to focus on overcoming their opioid addiction. And then trying to think of everything. Do they have transportation? Which again, it's not a big thing, especially I know as from Powell County, we have foothills to help us get around, but I live out on Old Fox. There's no way I'm driving to Save-A-Lot or walking to Save-A-Lot to get my groceries. Things like, and then are they actively not just going to one of the recovery centers? It's counseling, you know, maybe they need intensive outpatient care. Maybe they just need to attend an NA or AA meeting once a week and speak to their sponsor once a week. So those are kind of like the motivational factors I'm looking for.
State, so we're pretty confident in our screening process because it worked 43 times, 43 out of 43 times. And again, we probably would have had 150 clients if we had the money to spend. Because they just can't. There won't be any shortage of people who are going to be willing to learn. Sure.
The women that have what's
If they had babies, drug addicted women who make children. And I didn't know if that was the same one.
I think that's Martin County.
Yeah. So
But I know some of those women that have gone, they're going to Eastern, or some of them
Right.
going to school.
Right. So we've had people women come out of our Liberty Place Recovery Center. Scholar houses are housing for single parents. I'm in school, we give them through Section 8 voucher, we give them a free place to live while they're going to school. We got 2 of those, and there are 69 beds. Liberty Place, get their children back, qualify to get their children back. They want further education, and but what we've experienced is the people who we home, they stay in a safe place, programs, and the drug testing. So that's where we found the most success. Now, I can't speak for all 16 years we've done it, so I am certain that someone in that program. I'm just saying overall, we've had tremendous success with Liberty Place for 16 years. And it's one of, I think, 13 Recovery Kentucky centers that Governor Fletcher started back years ago. And that's so good. Again, we've got working relationships with Mountain Comp, with New Vista, with the court systems. So we want to work with the county attorney here, jailer, that I guess she was 3/4, right? But whoever we need to work with to improve this program, to make it work better in this community, that's what we want to do.
Did you ever go through there? It's been forced to go with Casey's Law.
Oh, so yeah, Liberty Place has a lot of people who come out of Department of Corrections. So they're placed there to get early release. That's part of their early release, is that they'll go to Liberty Place and spend 6 months, and then they're able to leave. That's part of their sentence.
But when they're taking the courts up for Casey's Law, you know.
Program. We have not had anybody who's Casey Law enforced to come through our program. One of the things the county attorney is in, they'll have a lifeline. They can reach out to me, I can get them resources. Does contact me and send me a lot of referrals, but when I reach out to those clients, it's because they want to come into our program, not that they're being forced into it.
Anybody else have any questions? Give me any more questions? Anyway, Dave, we'll,
Yeah, we'll leave you all some business cards if you have any other questions. Follow up.
I have another question, but I forgot what it was.
I got the business card, Lord.
Okay.
So sorry.
You got it, Teresa.
I don't have.
You got it.
I like the ones that makes it easy. Actually, your dog comes from Is it the black and white one?
Thank you all.
See,
See you later.
see you later.
Say later, brother.
See you later.
Like, if he doesn't hear that.
Oh, he's been in the house. Yeah, I don't know that.
I am. I'm gonna go on that, but much further drive, I think I've got like I mapped it out actually, a 12-minute drive. That way I knew exactly what time to leave the house to get here. So, thank you guys.
Be careful.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is department reports, and I guess the library zone,
You want to do them first?
Tommy's not going anywhere nowhere. Unless he gets a call.
I'll just keep it short. Oh. So I have your stats from December and November because I had to miss last time.
You did, well, that's all right.
And I
You don't
was,
have to.
well, I was running late today too because I come from the dentist and I'm still like having them. Yeah. I did want to share, I'll hand these out for our stats for this month. But one thing too that we were working on, we had Ridge Wilson with CCHC Homeless and Housing. He came by and
Who's this now?
his name is Ridge Wilson. He has like I think an office in Winchester. They came by and was wanting to meet with ones that are without housing in the area and try to get them signed up for things. And he was going to share information with them and was going to have like some lunch and some snack bags. So we're having that this Friday from 12 to 1. We're not really posting it online. Like I asked for people to give me information. We're mostly just doing it word for mouth and just spreading around. So maybe we can get them to come out, have like a hot lunch. We're getting some people to come and bring some stuff, some soup or sandwiches, and just trying to see if they want information to sign up to get housing.
Do you have everybody come by? Do you have everybody come by?
Yes.
I saw someone the other day, getting something out of the blessing box, I guess that's, you know what you call it?
Yeah, that's the thing, I don't know if I've said here before or not, is that we try to keep that thing stocked as much as possible, but a lot of times we get a lot of people that it'll go empty and people will look in our trash, both the main trash out front and in our trash out back. So that's the things, like we definitely have people that are starving and the blessing boxes are really open. So I hope.
One person that come back here.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you notice the ones that's really in need are the ones that will start looking through the trash can. And I'm hoping I've left stuff for them if they want to come by and, you know, at least help. We can't force them to, but at least have information. So that's something too, same with the ones that left, if they ever want to come and, other than that, I don't have any questions unless you do.
Thanks, Jim. You got anything, Tom?
Don't have a whole lot.
Lucas,
Breakdown of the.
Lucas not going anywhere no way, so.
No, well, once we get to Lucas, nobody in the rescue squad receives not one penny. We don't want any money. That's, all we want is to be able to keep doing what we're doing and try to help the people. I think, when the snow started, I had 4 runs. I know places like Mountain Springs with the foot snow on it. Some of the hills we drop down those trucks, you get to the bottom, you look up and say, okay, are we coming back out or not?
Tom was just like a bulldog, you got a track on it, throw it out.
We, all of us enjoy what we're doing, look and do what I do and what everybody else does. Like I say, I try to keep things short and sweet, and anytime anybody has any questions, all they do is holler.
Thanks, Tom.
More than welcome to ride with me sometimes too, if you want to. Aren't you afraid of that?
Look.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
I've just got a brief report here, and then we have a resolution on here for a grant. So the first item there, on this one, there's some costs we can't claim through there, like snow removal, unless it's historic and stuff. But some damages have been turned in. We turned in some for IMU, $8.5 million, and the damage for this is over 13.3 million. So it's looking really good to be able to get some of those costs back for the governments and nonprofits and stuff like that. So, second update here, and opportunities for that. So we put in but it'll be a while before we hear back on that. So, but Bluegrass Ad's going to do most of the legwork on that. Moving on down to E911. So you'll see in your packet the call numbers for 2024. So the total number of calls received by the 911 center was 22,640 were made out of the 911 center. If it's to response agencies calling people back, whatever else it may be, that's 6,807. So that's a total number of calls inbound and outbound of 29,456, which is pretty close. I didn't pull all the numbers for last year, but that's pretty close to last year's numbers on that. Okay. I also put in for a grant to the 911 Services Board to have Bluegrass Ad come in and do a complete refresh, update, all that type of stuff for our 911 mapping. They've been very successful in the past of getting that grant through the 911 Services Board for that type of work. Powell County did it last year, or the year before, and then Bourbon County did as well. So we just have that resolution in there to approve that. And then if it gets approved, we'll proceed with it. But if it don't get approved, we'll go back and punt. So that's all I have.
We have a motion to approve this resolution.
Judge Watson,
Yes.
Magistrate Abney,
Yes.
Magistrate Gibson,
Yes.
Magistrate Flannery.
Yes. Any questions? Question wrong here. Beat me to it there, Lee.
Yep.
Okay. We don't have any else. Okay. Any reports? I'll, I've got things recorded.
I'd just like to thank all departments for what they've done through this snow and ice.
Any calls from us? Okay. Before I go, let somebody talk about what they're going to do. Okay. We got a copy of Cal Valley Water District, you all got a copy of it in there. Just make a note, it's in there if you want to. The treasurer's financial report. Next item is,
the monthly financial report, the treasurer's monthly, or for the transfers?
We've got, those have been presented. The treasurer's monthly financial report and the treasurer's quarterly report.
Watson? Judge Watson? For the transfers?
Yes.
I made a motion, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Judge Watson?
Yes.
Magistrate Abney?
Yes.
Magistrate Tipton?
Yes.
Magistrate Flannery?
Vote,
I'll make a motion.
second.
I second.
Any questions?
Judge Watson?
Yes.
Magistrate Abney?
Yes.
Magistrate Tipton?
Yes.
Magistrate Flannery?
Yes.
Next item is claims. One item. Salary, I couldn't think of it. The list. Today, the road, but anyway.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions? If not,
Judge Watson?
yes.
Magistrate Abney?
How's your road? Paul, go down there since it's you in his district.
You know, I'm making it up now.
You go and take 3 helpers.
I ain't even shoveled mine. Oh.
My car goes up and down the driveway pretty good, so.
Okay, we got a thing to do.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Abney?
Yes.
Magistrate Tipton?
Yes.
Magistrate Flannery?
Yes.
Thank you, Jim.
Hey, for sure.